Hey guys, I wanted to address a topic that a listener or subscriber of mine brought up, and I think is something that'll help a lot of people out there. And it's about production, and it's about CNC versus maybe like cell-based production, where you're cutting things, you're moving, you're drilling, you're datoing, and then you're assembling. His name is 123 Mark H. And his comment was, is there a huge production increase from a panel saw to a CNC machine? Now, you don't have to go from a panel saw to a CNC machine. You can go from a programmable beam saw to a point-to-point. But what we use is a nested base manufacturing, and where nested base manufacturing is basically doing all of those functions in one panel drop. Okay, so now there are two different types of software. There is your design software, which is, where's my program? Okay, so you can design in many different programs out there and propose them to the customer and get your get all of your information across to them, and that's fine and dandy. And then you can go create cut lists. You can create shop drawings, which would be just bare drawings with dimensions on them, with all of the information to create cut lists, and then go cut your parts and drill them and date them and all that stuff, and then make your drawer boxes and so forth. Well, one misconception about CNC machining, and that you see a lot of these smaller or home-based machines, is that when it comes time to make the parts, that you have to individually draw out each part, and that takes as much time as it would be just to go out there and cut it. Well, the biggest thing that holds people back is the software. Now, there are software out there, entry-level software, that will allow you to produce parts and pretty efficiently. But where the real pay, where you get paid back, is the optimization and the creating tool paths and creating CNC out of thin air, almost. Now, this is a program called Microvellum that works in AutoCAD, and I liked it because I was trained in AutoCAD when I attempted college back in the day, and it was something that was comfortable for me. Well, it has a library, and basically over here, if you were to, I'm gonna try to make this a quick video. Pick a one-door base cabinet. You would click Draw Product. It would ask you where to put it on the screen. It's gonna give you the option to put in the width, the depth, the height, and everything. How many shelves? If it has drawers in it, how many? The height of each drawer and everything. I mean, everything. Okay. Once that cabinet is on screen, like a lot of these others that I have, I'm going to show you an isometric view so you get a better idea of the cabinets. If I type in HI, enter, it will hide. It'll make them more into like recognizable cabinets, so you can see. And then RE for redraw, and it breaks it out. Okay, so as far as creating nested panels, this is, I'm going to show you, this is real quick, and this is really where you make your money. Okay, if I go to let's see, it says make nest from drawing, and click on that, it's going to give me it's going to ask me where to put the files, and then then I can type window or W, enter, and I can window all those cabinets, and it's found 52 cabinets. I'm going to simply right click, a point on the screen where I want it to draw those panels. Now you can look at it's right now it's thinking and 52 cabinets, it's going to take it a little bit of time, but what it does is there's algorithms that put the parts on a particular panel and it's going to ask me if it's okay to flip the drawer parts so it can machine everything on one side, and it's that fast. I'm going to select all of my product and draw nests, and it's going to draw it on screen, yes. what it allows it to do is to optimize your waste. You're not getting any waste this way, so it's one big thing. The other thing is when it comes to making just two-dimensional parts, curved parts for people, you know, CNC machine time, we charge $175 an hour. You know, we build for, you know, 20 hours for a job the other day, where we're literally, the machine's running and we're, you know, my CNC operator slash cabinet maker is off doing his thing. So that's the part I never even saw. This is what is called good leverage. Now, if you borrow money to do something like this, you could end up in being leveraged heavily and having to make some business decisions that don't really do you well. If you have cash, which is what we did. Now right now it's letting me know there's a few backs that were too big. Now watch as it draws every panel. This is like magic, guys. If you can do it in cash, which is what I did, I saved my money over time and we bought the machine, the vacuum pump, and the software, which this software is about 20 grand. Okay, it's not like and you have to go through a company and you have to get training and everything. It's serious software and it's a week's worth of training. I'm going to show you, okay, that's one sheet of drawer parts. Now as I go through these, of course it's going to drill holes for your dowels, it's going to dado your bottom, it's going to cut the part. And down here it's going to have a list of parts, the list that tells you where each part goes. Now if you had to draw these parts and apply machining to them, which we do for two-dimensional stuff, custom stuff, like y'all have seen in some of my videos, it would literally take forever, and no, it would not be worth it. So CNC machines are just a tool. It's how you power that tool. It even gives me my doors, which because we order our doors and make them ourselves, we erase those. So I would erase those panels. But going into like some of the cabinet parts, you have cabinet sides that are being drilled for adjustable shelves, dadoed for the backs. You can go in your material file and tell it how thick a back you want. You can customize everything about this software, and it will, and look how little waste there is. Notice this, and notice how it does not take in consideration if you're on a panel saw and you're cutting a sheet this way and this way, it's running a routed tool path, and so it doesn't hinder itself with machining lines that do not line up. Now I can go and take all of these that I nested here, all of these sheets. Imagine trying to create, these are all the backs, imagine trying to create a cut list for all of this. You know, it's crazy. Now I can take and these are pre-drilled for our drawer guides, so my guys, when they go to install, they're dropping drawer guides in, they're using those square head machine screws, system screws, and they're throwing drawer guides on without a square, without a tool, without anything. There's so many things about manufacturing the correct way that will change your life. Now I'll take, for example, one sheet. Okay, let's take this one. Now I can create G-code for the whole line of these that you see with one command, but I can click this create G-code. Now it's going to ask me to select a border, and it gives me the opportunity for all. I could say all, and it will make G-code for all of these incredibly lightning fast. But let me show you how quick it makes a G-code file for our machine for this one panel. I click on that one panel, it asks me for a file name, which I'll just put anything in there, and hit enter. Boom, done. G-code file created. I mean, look how lightning fast that is. Now this is the file that goes to the machine that tells it where to drill, where to cut, where to dado, changing tools. It's literally automated, where when you put the sheet up there, you turn this program on and the vacuum on and you walk away. And for about, I'd say about 10 minutes a sheet, you go do something else productive. And the machine is running, and at an incredibly fast rate. So you can take a job like this that's probably a $60,000 cabinet job, and you can create your cabinets, your cut lists, your G-code, and all your machining, and almost cut all your parts for that job in one day. it's literally at least 10 times faster than doing it the other way. But you have to justify the cost, or you don't have to justify the cost of the machine if you save your money, buy the machine, and then it's a serious tool, because you're not really concerned about paying for this. I've watched guys buy machines, not use them properly, not use them for their full potential, and they're on a lease with a high interest rate, and the company comes and picks them up, sells it at auction. Okay, you don't want to be leveraged. You want to use your money and leverage it forward. This is going to create tons and tons and tons of profit. Something like this. Any tool that's going to, you know, a guy that I kind of mentored from a little bit back when I was framing houses and doing trim work, and he was the cabinet maker that came in, he told me something a long time. He said, a cabinet's a cabinet, but the guy that touches it the fewest amount of times is the winner. He's the guy that sets the price, right? You have to compete with him. He is not competing with you. Be the guy in business that people have to compete with. I'll just leave it at that. The battery thing is flashing. So you guys, y'all take care.